Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have some XRP news today. We have some Bitcoin news. We have some Chainlink news. We have two banking articles today. Of course, they're crazy as usual. So we're going to begin here with this article in its title, Ripple CEO to speak on Korea at Blockchain Week. All right, so let's scroll up here and find out what's going on. And we already know that South Korea is very, very bullish on XRP. As a matter of fact, I think there was a poll done about maybe 2 months ago, around that time, that said that XRP actually is the most beloved cryptocurrency in South Korea, even over Bitcoin. Now, listen, I can't verify the legitimacy of that, but that's what the poll said. All right, and it was done in some sort of some article writer did it, or some company did it, and then they wrote an article about it. But this article begins here. As Ripple, U.S. fintech decacorn, is increasing its strategic bet on the expansion in various regions of Asia, local communities are waiting for the company's key figurehead to speak at a major conference this September. Meanwhile, the good news about spot ETH ETFs triggered the discussion about XRP ETFs' ambitions in the U.S. It says, Crypto OG, that's funny that they use that term, Crypto OG and Ripple Inc. CEO Brad Garlinghouse will be speaking at Korea Blockchain Week 2024 in September. You know why that's funny to me? When I was younger, OG meant original gangster. That's what it meant. It didn't mean original. It meant original gangster. But now a lot of people use OG, and it just means you've been in something for a long time, like you're a veteran of it. I understand that, but it just still always gives me pause. It's funny. It says here, this official announcement was shared on X on the event's main account. You know what's interesting also? I don't know how many of you ever saw it, but there was a movie that came out a long time ago, and it was literally called Original Gangsters. And I think that's what, at least around where I was from, that's what popularized the term OG. But it had like Fred Williamson was in it, I believe. Pam Grier was in it. Fred Williamson, Pam Grier. I can't remember the other gentleman's name. He was a real tough guy in movies. He was a former football player. Well, Fred Williamson was also. What was the other guy's name? My apologies, folks. But anyway, that movie was actually really good. It had the what was the guy? The thinner guy from Jamie Foxx show. He used to play Braxton. It had that guy in it, Braxton in it, as the main villain. And let me tell you, he actually did a good job. So anyway, that was a really good movie. But all of those thoughts got triggered by the OG thing. It says, as per the statement of the organizers, the speech by Garlinghouse will be included in the Impact program and will cover the future of finance with blockchain and crypto technology. The event is set to happen September 3rd through the 4th, 2024 in Seoul's Walker Hill Hotels and Resort Complex. Local digital economy heavyweights Hashed and FactBlock are backing the event. It says here, Ripple Strategic Initiatives Vice President Emi Yoshikawa highlights the importance of the upcoming event for Ripple's regional strategy. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is coming to Korea for Korea Blockchain Week. We are so excited to be in Korea this summer. This is as covered by U.Today. Previously, 2 weeks ago, it was announced that the XRP Ledger blockchain onboarded a South Korean validator. All right. So now one of our really, really great subscribers made a comment, and they were saying, did you hear what Hugo said? I'm assuming it's Hugo Fillion with Flare. I stay abreast and privy of all the Flare news, Flare, Songbird. I'm heavy in both. And let me say, you know, the members only section are the ones that got me into Flare and Songbird. All right. So I want to give a shout out to them, giving them credit. I've known about Flare for a long time, but I had until like maybe mid last year, I never really looked deeply into them. But a lot of people in the members only section, you know, they send me on different missions at different times to investigate certain things. And that was one of them. You know, Casper was another one that they sent me on a mission to learn about. And I just got fascinated with it. I investigated it for a long time. And after seeing a lot of what they were doing, I became very, very bullish on Flare as well as Songbird. So yes, I did see what Hugo Fillion, all the things that Hugo Fillion was saying, and especially the little, what was the, it was in some, you know, like the articles will crop the tweets and stuff into the articles. So there's a lot of articles written about it. And it was something like all the pieces are coming together, something like that, you know. But anyway, yes, things are looking really good. I'm excited to see what happens when F assets are released. And I really want to see the impact that is going to have on Songbird, because that's going to tell me a lot about the impact it might have on Flare, which I think is going to be massive if they can bring a lot of those different coins over to Flare as F assets. They're trying to bring XRP. That could be major. That could be major. Even I think, was it Hugo Fillion? Was it? I think that said that massive utility will come to XRP when it's an F asset, when it's FXRP or something like that. But you have XRP that could be brought over. You have Bitcoin. I'm sure I think they already are. They're wrapping up the Coston network testing, and so I think the next phase is, I think it goes Coston network, then it goes to Songbird, and then I think after that, that's Coston network 2. They do that testing, and then it goes to Flare. Correct me if I'm wrong, but listen, that's what I believe as of now, how it works. So yeah, things been looking really, really good, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the delegation and the staking and how easy it is, on those things there. And it's like, that's not the only interoperability protocol that I'm super bullish on. Chainlink, like everybody should know that by now. I'm super bullish on Chainlink. Even when people were telling me Chainlink was trash, when its price was really, really low. And before all of these big announcements, now Chainlink is working with some really, really massive companies. That's super bullish. I think the interoperability protocols are going to really shock people in the future. I do. They're the ones where I say I'm super duper bullish on them, like Quant. I think I'm super bullish on Quant. It's just these types of things take time in a world where people, they don't have any patience. I can understand why people don't have patience. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take on that energy. I'm not. I play a balanced game. I have some fast plays and I have some long-term plays. XRP, long-term play. I don't talk about XRP, long-term play, Quant, long-term play. Like these legitimate coins, I know they take some time and there's no time frame on them. No. And you can't trust the time frames that the central banks put on them, because they keep shifting everything, and there's so many blockades in the way of why they wouldn't be able to nail down a time frame for when they're going to release something like CBDCs as such. There's just so much testing. That's what you got to have this. There takes time to set up the infrastructure, and then there takes time to test everything out, because this is the new financial system. You can't have things going wrong. So it has to all go right. Regulations as well. So, but the fast plays, these things where you just make quick money off of, I want to say this again. I don't talk about fast plays, because by the time you get to the people, that fast play it's already at the top. So even if you say it's not financial advice and you're just casually talking about it, people are learning about that. If people were to get in at something that's already at the top and it could crash on them, like, that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even play that game. I don't even involve myself. I stay in my lane as a researcher, reporter. Like, hey, listen, these are the articles I found, and it's for people who want to hear this type of news. That's it. It's not to influence new people to go buy something. Not at all. Not at all. Most of the people that watch my videos are people that have been holders of these things for quite some time. They just want the news on how everything is progressing. That's it. And I enjoy bringing it to them and working hard for them. So now, anyway, second article here. So this is a very light article, in my humble opinion, but it's very interesting. This article is titled "David Schwartz Identifies Most Prominent Figure in Ripple." And it begins as such. Ripple Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz identifies Chris Larsen as the most important person in the company's history. I'm gonna pause for a minute and say, I really appreciate how this writer, who is this writer? Because I want to give them a shout out. How they got right to the point and told you what the article was, the gist of the article was going to be about at the beginning. That's rare. So the article writer here from CryptoBasic.com is Lelejima, Lelejima. Go check out some more of their articles. I don't know them. I'm just paying them respect for doing it the right way. So now that you have that respect, I'm going to read the rest of the article. The prominent developer and current CTO of the crypto payments behemoth made this known during a recent Ask Me Anything session he hosted on X. It says during the AMA session, Schwartz pointed out that he was under the influence of pain medication following a dental tooth procedure. Despite his altered state, Schwartz urged XRP enthusiasts to ask him anything, emphasizing his willingness to engage them in conversation. You know, it's funny. I don't know if David Schwartz has a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, but I think he would have a great one. He has a great personality. Like, I mean, he has a lot of charisma. You know what I mean? I think he doesn't have time for that now, I would believe, but he probably would have a great channel. I'm just saying. It says, consequently, an XRP community member asked him to identify the most prominent figure in Ripple's history from 5 choices. The list contains both past and present Ripple executives such as Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, Chris Larson, and Brad Garlinghouse, or any other exec not included in the list. Interestingly, Schwartz selected Larson as the most important person in Ripple's history. Quote, "I think Chris," unquote, he remarked. Schwartz reflected on Larson's belief and dedication to Ripple's vision. Loyalty. See that? Loyalty is important to, I think, to most people who have a high intellectual standing. Loyalty means a lot. Consistency means a lot. It says it's a very, very potent quality to have, and it's very, very rare. A lot of people just hop around. They jump around from thing to thing, from person to person. You know, loyalty is something that's very, very rare. And if you're going to be a leader, then having your people know you stand your ground and you're not going to run away when things get hot, that's something that is very, very potent as well. It says, particularly during a challenging stage. See, I told you, it got hot and Larson didn't run. So it says Schwartz reflected on Larson's belief and dedication to Ripple's vision, particularly during a challenging stage. Notably, he admitted that Larson believed in Ripple's potential even before he fully embraced it. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. We have a little bit of Bitcoin news. So now, I hope you all are having a fantastic day. I hope you all are doing well. You're feeling good, okay? I know there was a lot of people in the comment section the other day that didn't seem like they were in a good mood at all. Listen, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're doing well in life. That's all I can say about that. And may the good energies be with you. So this article here is titled Bitcoin News Today, Fed Rate Path Impact on Bitcoin Trends Ahead of U.S. Data. It says on Saturday, May 25th, Bitcoin gained 1.06% after advancing by 0.90% on Friday. Bitcoin ended the session at $69,291. U.S. economic indicators from the Friday session continue to drive buyer demand for Bitcoin and the broader crypto market. The softer than expected U.S. inflation expectation numbers for May stoked a Friday recovery from sub $67,000. The U.S. Bitcoin spot ETF market saw a positive response to the inflation expectation numbers, with total net inflows reaching $251.9 million on Friday, up $107.9 million on Thursday. Despite the hawkish FOMC meeting minutes and a hotter than expected U.S. S&P Global Services PMI, the U.S. BTC spot ETF market saw total net inflows of $1,056 million in the week ending May 24th. I read that completely wrong. I know, my goodness, I messed that up. Should be 1 billion, but they wrote it a little weird too, to be quite honest. Nevertheless, Bitcoin followed to continue to fall short of the $70,000 handle. Uncertainty about a September Fed rate cut could impact Bitcoin price trends before the U.S. Personal Income and Outlays report Friday, May 31st. I'm going to tell you what, it's been very interesting. Hearing, pardon me, hearing Janet Yellen talk about the higher for longer, energy, for lack of a better word, possibly extending into the future, leads me to believe that maybe the cut that a lot of the experts are saying that it could come in September, maybe it may not happen. But we shall see. We shall see. It says better than expected personal income / spending and hotter than expected inflation numbers could refuel speculation about a Fed rate hike. A more hawkish Fed rate path could kickstart a broad-based crypto sell-off. All right, so we'll keep that in mind, all right, as a possible catalyst in the future. So now we have our first banking article today, and of course, something crazy is going on in the banking system right now. I don't know why they're not alerting the people that this is happening widely, but I'm convinced 100% that the banking system is under attack. Listen, I'm telling you honestly. Now, I say that because there's been articles written about certain key infrastructures like water systems. They've been alerting might be under attack in the US, right? Okay. Why just the water systems? The financial system also would be something that could be highly detrimental if it were attacked. Now, why do I say that? I've been covering article after article after article about data breaches at banks for the last year and a half. And it's picked up this year. Greatly it has. I mean, I've read them to you, haven't I? And then it's just so much is happening with information like social security numbers and account information being exposed in banks. How are they getting that? Why is this all happening now so much? It seems like maybe there's attacks going on in towards this system. But anyway, this is my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with that. I'm just, I like to bring these things up and tell you my honest opinion. That way, if people need to protect themselves, they can. It's up to them, not financial advice. But it says this: $1 trillion bank says customer and employee data has been exposed and accessed in mysterious breach. Now, a bank with this type of capital has to have major security. It would take brilliant entities to crack this system. Why attack this system? There's a lot of weaker banks. It says one of the largest banks in the world says a data breach has exposed customer and employee information. In a statement, Santander says it's aware of, quote, unauthorized access, unquote, to a third-party database containing information on an undisclosed number of customers and employees. Wow. The bank, which has $1.8 trillion in total assets and operates in 10 markets across Europe and the Americas, says customers of Santander, Chile, Spain, and Uruguay are affected. Quote, following an investigation, we have now confirmed that certain information relating to customers of Santander, Chile, Spain, and Uruguay, as well as the current and some former Santander employees of the group, had been accessed. Customer data in all other Santander markets and businesses are not affected, unquote. Are you sure about that? Have you run tests to make sure there was no breach and then it was closed up? I'm just asking questions. Quote, no transactional data nor any credentials that would allow transactions to take place on accounts are contained in the database, including online banking details and passwords. The bank's operations and systems are not affected, so customers can continue to transact securely. Are you sure about that? It says, we apologize for the concern this will understandably cause and are proactively contacting affected customers and employees directly. We have also notified regulators and law enforcement and will continue to work closely with them, as you should. The bank says it has implemented measures to contain the incident. How do you do that now that the information is out there? It's over with. I don't know. It says, including, quote, blocking the compromised access to the database and establishing additional fraud prevention controls to protect affected customers, unquote. Santander's breach comes weeks after JP Morgan Chase. We covered this also. One of the reasons why I said what I said at the beginning. After JP Morgan Chase revealed a breach affecting 451,809 customers, retirement records, names, addresses, social security numbers, and bank accounts. This is what I'm talking about. So the biggest banks have been breached in the last month. There's something going on there. I don't believe in coincidence. They're under attack, but they're not letting the people know. So the people are not able to better protect themselves. You know, and I get it. As a business, they don't want that, possibly that liability. But now you have major websites talking about this. You're going to have more deposit flight because the people are going to, they don't want their money stolen. They don't want their names, addresses, social security numbers out there on the dark web. And once it's out there on the dark web, you can't get it back. You can't get that off that dark web. So anyway, so now we're moving on here to another article. Okay, this is the Altcoin article. And it begins as such: altcoins entering textbook markup period witnessed during 2016 and 2021 market cycles. 2021 is when I came in, right? I like to say that because I don't know why some people believe they feel like I've been here for 5 years. I see this comment all the time. And my first year in crypto, my first video released about crypto was in 2021. 2021 to 2022, 2022 to 2023, 2023 to 2024. That's 3 years. 2021 is the same year that my father died. I could not forget that. I couldn't forget that year. I know everything that happened that year like it was yesterday. All right. And it's one of the reasons I kept doing the channel, because when my father passed away, when my father died, it was devastating to me. And if anybody's been here since day one, they know I took like 2-3 weeks off. I wasn't going to come back. But a lot of subscribers, who some of them are now members only section people, they were writing me messages at that time like, hey, Mick, are you okay? Mick, you know, I hope everything is good. I hope you're doing well. They didn't know what was going on in my life. I'm telling you now, because I don't know why some people are trying to make it seem like, well, he's been talking about this XRP for 5 years and nothing's happened. It's like, no, I actually been probably making standalone videos about XRP probably for just a little over 2.5 years, because I started the channel talking making combination videos of Stellar, Algorand, Batcoin, GRT. That's how the channel began. I would mention XRP, I would mention HBAR, but I didn't do standalone videos at that time, from what I remember. That didn't happen until like a year later. Then I started making standalone videos on XRP and other things like that as I start expanding the channel. But anyway, I couldn't forget 2021. Anyway, so people were writing me, and it was like maybe in that second week, I just picked up my phone and I started scrolling through the comment section, and I saw those comments. Made me feel better. It made me feel good at a very dark time in my life. And that was the moment I said, okay, in order to pay this kindness back, I'm going to work hard for people on this channel. Like I'm going to do the absolute best research that I can, and I'm going to give it my all. And it's not just the people on the channel, but I know that's what my father would want. I do that with everything in life, not just this channel, everything in my life. Every single day, I give it my absolute all, because I know that's what he would want. And I know that's what my mother wants. All right. It's one of the reasons now why I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to increase myself. I upgraded some of the stuff I do with certain graphics. I've been putting out video. I've been trying to put out a video every day. You know, I see a lot of content creators have done that before, you know, who've been very successful. And I'm like, I have a little bit of time in the evening. So I've been trying to honor that idea, as well as I hope that it's beneficial to the people. So that I just not minimized, but I tried to sum up that story. So I can't forget 2021. I haven't been here for 5 years. No. So now this article here is titled Altcoins Entering Textbook Markup Period Witnessed During 2016-2021. An analyst known for making macro crypto calls thinks the altcoin market is poised to spark steep rallies similar to the ones witnessed in 2016 and 2021. Pseudonymous analyst Tech Dev tells his followers on social media platform X that he's watching the others charts. All right. We've had a lot of experts say that there's an altcoin season coming, that there is a bull market coming that is similar to 2021. I'm all for it. I can't wait. I hope it does happen. Of course, no one has a crystal ball. It says, according to the crypto strategist, others appears to be following a, quote, textbook bullish formation after breaking out from a rounding bottom pattern. Quote, alts are entering textbook markup, unquote. Looking at the traders' charts, Others seems to have printed the exact same pattern seen during the 2016 bull market. I wasn't present for that one. The total 3 chart, which tracks the total market cap of crypto excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stable coins, also generated the same pattern in 2021 before launching a big burst to the upside. Based on the chart, TechDev predicts that others will rally to as high as $1 trillion during its markup phase. At the time of writing, others is hovering at $291.35 billion, suggesting upside potential of more than 243%. Wow, if it hits TechDev's target. All right, so now let's move on from there. We have a little bit of Chainlink news, just a little bit. They've had a lot of really good activity. Here's another one. So this article is titled Chainlink Partners with Mind Network. All right, so it says this. Chainlink has entered into a strategic alliance with Mind Network. The partnership will see Mind Network developing a fully homomorphic encryption interface. This interface will be built on top of Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol across various platforms, including Arbitrum, Ethereum Foundation, and Polygon. It says Chainlink is then they go into what Chainlink is. We already know that. All right, so more big activity from Chainlink, and we're going to close out here with a little bit of bank news. So this article is titled Bank Woes. That's unsettling. Maybe I'll use that as a title. It's hard coming up with titles, after 3 years of making videos and then trying to figure out what the algorithm likes. You have to please the algorithm more than you have to please the people when it comes to titles. And then the algorithm will boost your video. But anyway, that's unsettling, says bank user after card declined twice before Chase told her there was no evidence of an account. Wow. Crazy stuff happening at these banks, I'll tell you. A new Chase banking customer was shocked to find that her account no longer exists. On May 1st, 2023, JP Morgan Chase acquired First Republic banks, absorbing their customers' accounts. How does that play a part here? It says, quote, our government invited us and others to step up, and we did, unquote, said Jamie Dimon, chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, in a press release. Bear with me one moment. What does this have to do with the person's account? It says First Republic and JP Morgan Chase are committed to your account and information safe, unquote, read the statement. And then it talks about the transition here. Wow. They went through all of that just to get to the customer information. For one customer, this transition was less than perfect, finding that Chase Bank could not locate their funds. How did they lose that? I don't understand. Phoebe Wall-Howard, it says, posted her frustrations on X, tagging Chase in her call out. Quote, dear Chase, you acquired First Republic Bank. Okay, now I see why they made that connection. You acquired First Republic Bank a year ago. Customers were told the transition would be seamless, unquote. Howard began. Quote, well, my ATM card was declined 2 times today. And then a Chase clerk told me she can find no evidence of my checking account. You better get a lawyer. To come back next week, unquote, she continued. Quote, so that's unsettling, unquote. Howard's concerns did not go unanswered as Chase Bank's account reached out to her via X. Quote, we understand how it feels when you were unable to access your money and your card is declined, unquote, the bank began. The bank then explained some potential reasons for Howard running into issues. Quote, your debit or ATM card will continue to work during the transition, but it didn't. With a few exceptions. Okay, what are the exceptions? Quote, deposits, transfers, and balance inquiries at ATMs will not be available, nor will money transfer requests when using your debit card as the funding source for a Cash App, Venmo, etc. The bank went on to explain that these features would be available later in the month. What she's saying, let's go back to what she's saying originally. Sorry, I'm playing detective here. I'm trying to sort all of this out. Let's go back to the top. One customer could not locate their funds. Yeah, so what they're talking about is not what she's experiencing. She can't locate her funds. They're saying her account does not exist. They didn't address that. I don't know. Be careful out here, folks. So Now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.